to the second match we got here. We got MyuNgSiK coming up here for SBENU.
6-9, 0-2, but very quickly becoming a force to be reckoned with. A dangerous player, many all-ins, many different types of builds, and you know he'll hold his own against a player like Maru in a PvT and play a macro game and look really good. I mean, this guy is scary because he's got so many good facets of his play. He's not a cheeser as he originally seemed. He's actually, you know, quite good at playing a long game as well.
He's just become so much more well-rounded, and it's great to see. Getting even a new home here on SBENU seemed to be working out for him so far. But, you know, as good as MyuNgSiK is, Zest, I think, is a bit better. He's over here. He's not doing so well in Pro League, to be honest. Like 10-10. He's played the most games compared to any other player. Already up at 20, but just cannot seem to find that same kind of success that such as guys like Hero or Maru are. And it's kind of sad.
He has such an insane inconsistency in this matchup as well. He's played 11 PvPs. He's 5-6 in the matchup, and he really struggles, you know, especially against Creator.
Yeah, he's got 3 losses to Creator on that board, so it's kind of crazy to think about.
Lost to him just recently, and you know, I voted for Zest here, but it was really tough for me. But it's not really based off of like a logic. I feel it's kind of like I just feel like
you got that feeling
lose.
in your elbow. Is that what's going on here today, Wolf?
Yeah, something
you got
like
a little
that.
itch.
It's not just my facial hair either. It's not that kind of an itch.
Yeah. Well, we're going to jump into our second mirror match of the night. It's going to be PvP. The map will be Deadwing. Not too surprising that we do get this PvP here. And let's take a look at this. We actually only have one person going from MyuNgSiK. It's the MC, the guy in the middle over there, the host of the Korean desk.
Yeah, I'm a bit surprised that there's not more of a split here. I think this is a tough one to call.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, just want to point out, our predictions for MMA were right, so the foreign team won that one.
We win. Team Salmon knows what's up.
Yeah. Well, let's go into the second game here. It's going to be MyuNgSiK versus Zest on Deadwing. Down here in the bottom left in the red for SBENU, it is MyuNgSiK.
It's an insane probe split, by the way. Up to the top left in blue for KT Rolster, it's Zest. Zest not looking very happy today.
Oh, yeah.
I trust you.
Yeah.
Please give me you've got to give me a victory. Gulk. It's necessary.
Yeah,
I'm so excited to be back in a place where I can read and understand everything very quickly.
Yeah. How was Japan, Wolf?
It was
How did
really
you enjoy
fun.
It overall?
So I ended up staying a lot longer than I initially planned. So I ended up learning hiragana, which is really, really, really complicated compared to Korean. And then I started learning katakana. I haven't fully mastered that yet, but it was a really new and exciting experience for me. I haven't, you know, it felt like I had like moved to Tokyo because I was there for so long. I was like, well, this is kind of like a new experience.
Yeah.
I need to learn how to order food and do things on my own and learn the language. So I had a lot of fun doing that. Everyone is very fashionable in Tokyo. Fashion is super big, and everybody looks really good. Everybody. There were like a few that didn't look really good, but like for the most part, everybody looked really good.
I gave you a little look. You know, people didn't see that on camera, but here's, I think that was Zest.
Yeah.
GG girl.
I think it said superpower on one side and just gymnasio. It's hard to have this strength. Put your strength.
Gather your strength.
Gather your strength.
I guess.
Yeah, I guess it's hard to translate that into English.
Yeah.
It's like a cheering word to cheer someone on.
Yeah.
It's most commonly translated in English as cheer up, but it doesn't really quite translate to that.
Yeah, that doesn't really count.
That implies that the person you're saying that to is unhappy, which is not necessarily the case.
Yeah.
So a much faster gate here from MyuNgSiK, as you guys could see. Not surprising at all.
Yeah. He's going to look to mix it up here, I think, against Zest. And if I were MyuNgSiK even, he used to be on Prime, right?
Yes.
So he must have played so many PvPs with the Creator even. So whatever Creator's got against Zest, you know, MyuNgSiK must be tapping into that a little bit. I'm sure those guys are great friends. He's going back to them and saying, what do you do against Zest that allows you to win those games where you can't win elsewhere? And Grader's definitely spilled the secret. And let's see what MyuNgSiK decides to do.
He's definitely going to do Oracles. He starts with a Stargate to start, but I would like to see Oracles out of him on this map. Phoenix is getting more popular in this matchup, though. And by the way, I want to point out there's a unique thing that just happened in this map is both players scouted cross spawns first, and that's very unique for 4-player maps. The reason why is in this particular map, the rush distance for cross spawn is even much further than it would be on a normal 4-player map. So you have to really know whether your opponent's cross or not to get a good idea about exactly how much you want to commit to your aggression or what kind of build you want to do. In Zest's case, he isn't even going to commit to tech at all until he finds out that his opponent is cross or vertical. So that's a really cool thing that we saw both players actually do.
Yeah, I love when we see little things like that. They actually do mean a ton, as you did just explain. We do have MyuNgSiK. You were saying this is getting very popular in this matchup. He gets out the faster Stargate, but not for a quick Oracle. It's for Phoenix's. Yeah. And I wonder if this is just to get ahead of Zest, who is also putting down a Stargate, who could also possibly go Phoenix's.
Well, I hope for Zest's sake he is going Phoenix's, because if he goes this late of an Oracle into the Phoenix opening on MyuNgSiK, he's going to have a hard time. This Phoenix is going to... Oh, he barely doesn't find it. He doesn't find it. He's got a Stalker looking for it as well. He really wants to shut this Mothership core down. This is a really well-studied approach to how Zest likes to scout in this matchup by MyuNgSiK here. He's going to see these additional gates, and it is going to be an Oracle opening, which will be canceled promptly, no doubt. If he realizes this is real, he might still think this is a fake scout. If he is looking closely, he'll know, but if he might still think it is. Nope, he switches immediately to Phoenix's.
Yeah. Oh, look at this.
He's going to have to recall. And you know what? When he gets back, there's a Phoenix going to be there.
I think he will commit to it, yes.
Look at this. Okay, let's talk about this. This is a super calculated. This is not just a coincidence. MyuNgSiK really wanted to kill that Mothership core. He had a Stalker looking for it. He had a Phoenix come out early, chasing it, and he knew exactly that if it recalled and his Phoenix was there, he was going to kill it. So this is all planned. This is not a coincidence to specifically kill Zest Mothership core. And that means, guess what? Phoenix harass going to be a lot better. He already knows he's ahead in Phoenix's, so Zest either has to commit to Stalkers to defend this, or he's just going to lose a lot of probes. What a genius build here by MyuNgSiK. It's so smart.
Yeah, it's very interesting, but at the same time, Zest is going to put on the aggression, and there's no Mothership core out for MyuNgSiK here. He's got to get out Void Rays. I think he's got out one. But no, he actually didn't. He was supply blocked, so we're going to actually have 3-gate aggression coming out of here from Zest, and MyuNgSiK is going to have to get those force fields down.
Yep.
Stat.
And you know what? He knows that this is that there's no vision, there's no blink. He scouted everything. He should be totally fine against this. Zest is doing a desperation move. I'm a bit surprised he allowed these to get up here, because that's going to give vision. It's going to be very difficult to fight here, even with Phoenix's. But he will hold this off. He doesn't have any more force fields, though.
Yeah, that's the scary part. He needs that Void Ray right now.
He's about to have it. He's done all of this without a Mothership core, mind you, as you mentioned earlier.
Yeah, very specific builds. And
Zest is in trouble, man.
He's going to save some Phoenixes, possibly like try to take out the Phoenix count of MyuNgSiK and win in the Phoenix battle a little bit later on, because he's not sending them out just yet.
You know what? I think with a Void Ray and this many Stalkers and Warpins that he can have, I think that Zest can't break this ramp, and he's just going to win the Phoenix fight here. He's also going to have Zealots killing probes.
Yeah. He's going to force a 3-Stalker Warpin even back at home.
Oh, look at this. He's just going to lift the Stalkers. Zealots are going to do the rest here. It's so hard to micro your Phoenixes and your Stalkers at the same time versus Phoenixes. He comes in here, but he has nowhere near enough. This is nowhere near enough. Oh, force field in. That prismatic alignment not even necessary here.
Yeah, that's 2 extra Stalkers. Is going to take a lot from the aggression that Zest was hoping to put on, and these Phoenixes are coming back. They've got to get some energy. They got 1 Stalker, going to get another one here, and Zest, he's just going to have to go back home.
He's taken so much damage. He's lost so many units. Probe-wise, they're both even, but MyuNgSiK has control, and right now the Phoenix count is actually 6-5. In MyuNgSiK's favor, but it's not like insanely favored, right? So you know, he can catch up. There's a Void Ray in the mix, which makes Stalkers almost irrelevant, because that 1 Void Ray can kill 3 Stalkers on its own. And this
especially when you got all those Phoenixes lifting up a bunch of the Stalkers too.
Sure. Zest needs to be very careful with his Phoenixes. He cannot lose those. That's the one tool he's going to be able to have to try to get his way back into this game. He's got more health on his, so he can fight this.
Well, it's 7-6, but Zest still going to go for it. At least going to try to link up with one, and he will get away. So evens that Phoenix count up. He's got a faster Nexus here, but it looks like MyuNgSiK is not even... Okay, there we go. There's his Nexus, but he's also going to put down a Twilight Council.
Yeah, I wonder what the next step is going to be here. Blink is one way to help deal with Phoenixes, but this could also be for a charge follow-up, and this could also even be for like Archons and potentially even High Templar, because High Templar is something we do see people use to feedback High Templar. I mean, feedback Phoenixes. You can feedback High Templar with High Templar. It's kind of a weird thing, but you don't see that. That's not a strat. Not yet, anyway.
Imagine if it were. I mean, we're already seeing a bit of a change up in this PvP matchup out in Korea. We got just Phoenixes nearly every game these days, and then a follow-up into Blink as well, just to help out with dealing with the Phoenixes.
He's going to do a Blink attack. He's going to add a few gates here. He's going to hide them. How many is he going to add? Maybe 3? No, he can't. Well, he's got 3 gates already. Maybe just 2 gates in Blink. And Zest is adding a second Stargate as he's thinking this is going Phoenix Wars.
Yeah.
And this is a tricky move by MyuNgSiK. MyuNgSiK just playing every step of this matchup so against the curve. Like, he's like...
He's a thinker. He's a very smart player. That's one of the reasons why I really love to watch him, because he knows what he's doing, and he really wants to play with Zest here. There are those 2 gates coming down.
The player that MyuNgSiK starts to remind me more and more of is Tails, the old MVP player. He really starts to make me get these feelings of like, well, you've really figured this one out. Like, 2 gates, adding the Blink, with 2 base and 5 gates, Blink, and all the Phoenix support, this is going to hit Zest like a truck. Even with additional Phoenix production, I don't think he's going to have enough.
Well, look at this. The Phoenixes, MyuNgSiK are very out of positions, and look at how many Phoenixes are here. He's going to be able to do so much damage to the economy of MyuNgSiK, and it looks like MyuNgSiK is just going to go for the attack.
He just has to go, but this is going to weaken his push and his warping so much. Meanwhile, Zest's taking some probe losses, but he's a little bit more equipped to deal with this. But if he loses those Stalkers, he is going to lose the fight. He cannot lose these. Blink is nearly done, and he's losing every single Stalker here, every single one.
And look at Zest. He's spending all of his energy on picking up all the probes on MyuNgSiK. It's not going to matter if you can't deal with the push coming out of MyuNgSiK.
This is going to be devastating. 13 Phoenixes is all that Zest has to fight with.
And they're low on energy.
They're low on energy, man. This is the beginning of the end, I feel. The Sentry here might get sniped. There's a Void Ray in this mix too, mind you, and that is a big deal for fighting Stalkers. All right, here we go. First Stalker gets lifted. Let's get dropped. Probes kill a second one, and this fight continues here, but Zest is just going to eventually possibly run out of steam. These probes are so important here.
Got the prismatic alignment. The probes are going to come off the line, trying to get us around on all those Blink Stalkers, but the Blink is helping out a lot.
The Blink is so important here. It's the most important.
Look at all these lifts. He's got nearly every Stalker in the air.
Looks like he had more energy than we thought, man, and that is going to be it.
Oh, boy.
I did not realize he was going to have that many lifts, but GG.
That's
wow.
Do it. Yeah,
Blink not going to be able to help you when you're in the air. You can't blink. You can't perform any actions while you're in that Graviton lift. Wow, I did not expect that fight to turn out that way.
And that was just a really interesting game overall. Man, that was like a really fun one. And in the end, Zest does win. And we'll tie it up here for KT Rolster.
A great game. MyuNgSiK played a very smart game. Zest played like a normal strategic cross versus cross. I'm not saying that Zest didn't play well, but MyuNgSiK had a plan and a strategy, man, and he executed it well. That was a great game. Zest ended up using his Phoenixes a little bit better, and catching MyuNgSiK with his pants down. Had MyuNgSiK had more probes, he would have been able to reinforce the attack, would have been a lot stronger. It was a timing issue. Like, it takes so long to get across the map.
At the same time, I don't understand why MyuNgSiK had all of his Phoenixes up in the top right. Like, what are they going to be doing up there, really? I guess he's possibly hiding them, maybe trying to catch out Zest, sending out some of his Phoenixes and overwhelm them or something, but he should have had those at home before the push. There's no reason to have them over there.
I almost feel like they might have been over there to try to intercept scouts that were coming to see the gateways or something, but it's just still weird. Because something that we didn't talk about at all this game is that neither player made a robo, and there's always the fear that someone's going to add a Dark Shrine and commit their money to that and just send DTs in and win the game, because we've seen that before in this matchup as well. And there were no oracles on the map either, so it would have been a very scary situation for that. So sometimes you have probes checking all over the map to make sure it's not a hidden Dark Shrine. Maybe MyuNgSiK didn't want to see the gates.
That would have been really interesting. What if MyuNgSiK, instead of Blink, he just went DTs and just straight up won? Because you make an Oracle and you try to get it out to, get the detection down, but the Phoenixes just swoop in and kill it. You can't stop all those Phoenixes.
That game also really showcased in PvP how important every single gas is. Like every 4 gas trip that you take, because we saw Mothership cores get sniped and were not remade because you can't afford to even add that 100 gas. You just can't. You can't do that.
Yeah, you can't really, Wolf. Well, guys, we're going to take a 3-minute break. When we come back, it's going to be Leonok versus Life.